Alex, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. Just relax. Alright? Comfortable. Unclench your jaw. Loosen your shoulders. It's gonna be okay. Okay, now breathe in and breathe out slowly. What? I had to spend a year on this stupid game, sweating my ass off, getting rid of all these pixelated blocks, and now my reward is a fresh game of more Tetris. There's no end. I genuinely think at this point I had experienced Stockholm Syndrome, because for some reason my instant reaction to this news was to unpause the game and keep going. Why? It's crazy to think that for the first time since my introductory game over a year ago by this point, that I was now playing Tetris normally. No masochistic wall of pain, just a clean slate for a mundane game of Tetris. But you know what? I've been playing this game for God knows how many hours by this point. I'd gotten pretty good. So I played, and I finished the game, and I survived for quite some time. When you're used to there being all that garbage on the screen, it's a very relieving experience when there's nothing, and you last a lot longer. It felt like an eternity, to be honest, but the game was over. And on the TV screen, it was game over, and all the glory of my achievements, because let's be completely real with one another. In my eyes, from what I set out to do, I had finished Tetris. I had done my challenge, and I was done. I was completely done with the game. And I was happy to leave it there. I did what I came here to do. Took over an hour, a day, a year, and I might have lost my mind in the time being, but I'd finished, and I was done. But unbeknownst to my tiny little brain, my experience of Tetris didn't actually end there. Things had changed. I realized it pretty soon. As I looked around the room, I began to notice something. It was strange and different, and I had, been alive for quite a few years by this point, and I was now experiencing these things like they were new to me. My fridge and my bed and the clouds in the sky were, well, turns out I was beginning to experience something I had never heard of before. A phenomenon that has genuinely affected the world. I was experiencing the Tetris effect. Had I been laced with some kind of drug? Did the hours of endless Tetris program subliminal messages into my head? Am I a communist now? Will life ever be the same? No. No to all those questions, especially the last one. At this moment, sitting on the floor, staring at the game over screen of Tetris, I became instantly aware that people lived two lives. There's the innocent, peaceful life that is before Tetris, and then there's after. And I had just transcended into the post-Tetris reality, and things were only just getting started. I was experiencing firsthand the Tetris effect, and it was something to behold. So, welcome to the Psychology Science episode of My History with Tetris. Did you think this was going to happen? I bet not. I sure as hell didn't. I just wanted to play a dumb game with my mate, and now look where we are. I've sat in a room by myself for hours playing a stupid little puzzle game with coloured blocks with names like Tiwi, yeah, I'm bringing that back up, and now, after finishing that game, those silly little shapes are popping up in my real life. Yep, that's it. The Tetraminos are showing up outside of the TV. I can see them in my living room. I can see them outside. I could see them a week from that moment when I was learning about Jesus in high school. I was even experiencing Tetris in my dreams. Tetris had literally invaded my everyday life. This, my friends, if you didn't know, is the Tetris effect. Kind of. The term's actually used for a lot of things that have nothing to do with Tetris. It is defined by what happens when you devote so much time and attention to something that your brain basically starts to see it everywhere. It's to do with neuroplasticity, which I would love to explain, even though I have no idea what that means. So, I'm going to. Neuroplasticity is when that wrinkly, pinkish grey blob inside your skull needs to grow up and reorganize its life. So, let's imagine your meat computer as if it was a teenager at school. So far, the school experience has been sitting in the corner at lunch and eating their food alone. Well, every day for the past month, they've noticed that all the cool, popular kids have been wearing black nail polish. Isn't that interesting? Lo and behold, the next day, this smart little creature is wearing black nail polish too. And wouldn't you believe it? They get noticed. And boom! They are now cool. Make sense? No? Basically, brain learns new information, adapts accordingly. Yay, neuroscience! But Alex, in that scenario that I completely understood because you're a genius, wouldn't it be just as likely all the other brain teenager monstrosities make fun of this analogy person because they are just trying to fit in? Well, to that I say, 1, shut up. 2, it was an analogy. 3, everyone is now extremely confused and wants to stop watching. And 4, do you think me seeing Tetris blocks everywhere was a good adaptive response from my surroundings? No. My brain saw constant falling blocks, learnt that if you place them correctly you get rid of all the mess underneath it, and is now trying to use that knowledge in my everyday life. Now, when I look at my couch, I can see that it perfectly lines up with my table, which perfectly lines up with my fridge, which perfectly lines up with the wall, and then what happens? If I put them all together nice and neatly like a game of Tetris, will all of it just disappear? Do you see what happens when a video game mixes with neuroscience? You get this mess. Damn you, Alexi. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Hold on, let me search. I'll be right back. I'm searching that up. Give me a second. What is crazy though, in a serious note, is the level that this neuroplasticity can go. The Tetris effect, and I mean specifically the Tetris effect, can overcome, within reason, amnesia and PTSD. There have been studies of people with anterograde amnesia, the literal inability to create new memories, who have experienced the Tetris effect. These people, after playing Tetris, have explained that they dreamt of falling blocks that when they reach the bottom and connect can disappear. But they are completely unaware of any memory of ever playing Tetris. This game somehow overcame amnesia and broke through to these people. Can we do anything with that information? How far can it go? Well, who knows? But where Tetris has been used successfully is with PTSD patients. we have found a genuine link between PTSD patients playing Tetris and having a definitive decrease in intrusive thoughts and memories. It is said to increase hippocampal volume and is still being looked into as a gateway to understanding more about PTSD and potential ways of recovery. This game can actually help us. It is somehow surpassed from the trivial distraction that video games give us and can genuinely affect some people's everyday lives. It was beginning to affect mine. I learned about all this history with Tetris about a week after experiencing it myself. And during that week, I kept playing Tetris 2, and I got better and better, and I was starting to thoroughly enjoy myself. And I had to search up what I was experiencing, because I wanted to know if it was normal or common or okay. And when I did, I learned all about the Tetris effect, and everything about it actually really amazed me. But what amazes me even more was the timing. Because the day after I searched it up, the day after I learned all about the Tetris effect, something was revealed.
The researchers gave this phenomenon a name.